Hey everybody, it's your pal Smiley doing a little solo game today. This is one of my absolute favorite visual novels of all time. It's actually the first one I ever played that got me into the genre. Mostly because of the theme song playing right now by Christina V, one of my all-time favorite voice actresses. Let's just jump in. This game is weird. We're gonna play this on easy. I haven't played this in several years. And it's kind of complicated. Since the last time you got the alone... She's... Wow. Rude. Where the fuck does it get a bonus on them, but I don't... No bonus on him. Okay. Standard intro. We were walking together, hand in hand, watching as the sun descended beneath the horizon. The evening was wearing on, and the warm colors of twilight were starting to fade from the sky. I don't know what to do. You're doing enough. You don't worry about things so much. But he still doesn't approve of me. Do you think he doesn't like my job? Maybe he thinks it doesn't earn enough money. Or that I should be doing something better. I would like to do more, but it's the best part-time job I could find. His eyes were sympathetic as he looked down at my worried expression. I know he feels bad that his father, Osher, was creating so much grief for us, but I also knew that the situation was going to be difficult when I decided to stay with him. I don't think it's your work. He can be pretty stubborn. I know some people think that I could do better. It's not like a job at an ice cream parlor is anything special. I am attending my first year of college for creative writing. It's a natural fit since I've always loved to write poetry and prose. I had to take a part-time job during the summer to pay for my studies. Some girls in my classes have really good summer jobs. Honestly, I don't think he'd approve of any girl without a lot of persuading first. I don't think it's anything personal, he's just being stubborn. Yes, but after all this time, I really thought he would have warmed up to me by now. He just doesn't understand that we're serious about our relationship. You're gonna be so sad. Just the Angie vein. Or he doesn't want to understand. It's just so exasperating, since everyone else has been so supportive of us. He'll come around eventually. It's just a matter of time. I hope so. I just wish he wouldn't object for almost every time he finds out we're going down a date. I know it'll get better soon. I promise. Totally not gonna be in a motorcycle accident or anything. We reached the staircase that led back to the boardwalk and parking lot. Even over the sand dunes, I could see where Aaron's motorcycle was parked. We were about to ascend the stairs when he stopped and turned around to face me. He took my other hand in his and leaned down gently, kissing me on the lips. I couldn't help but smile slightly, feeling my anxiety melt away. Don't look so worried all the time, okay? You're much more beautiful when you're smiling, Amy. I returned the smile and leaned up to kiss him again. You're such a romantic. You make it sound like a bad thing. We both laughed as we ascended the stairs, still hand in hand. This is definitely how it should be. I always feel so safe with him at my side. Let's go home, alright? Okay, but can we stop for ice cream first? I get an employee discount on everything, you know. Sure. They have the best new type of ice cream sundae now. We should split one. Sounds good. My smile grew brighter as pleasant thoughts passed through my mind. He mounted his motorcycle and I sat on the back, wrapping my arms around his middle and holding on tightly. I rested my head against his broad shoulders and let a contented sigh escape my lips as the engine started up. The sun disappeared beneath the horizon, and the darkness of night began to overtake the sky. We sped out of the parking lot in less than a minute, and on to the nearly empty road that led back into town. The trees blurred as we flew down the road. We were only driving for a short while before a strange feeling of foreboding settled over me. I shivered involuntarily, despite the warm temperature, and squeezed Aaron tightly, watching as it got darker and darker on the one-way road. I was thinking of what to make for breakfast in the morning when we reached an intersection. We waited patiently for the light to change color, and when the green circle let off its artificial glow, Aaron resumed driving. We had just entered the intersection, when very suddenly I heard it. What? I looked up, eyes wide in confusion, to see another car barreling down the road, swerving back and forth as it approached us. Aaron tried to steer away from the oncoming vehicle, but there was no hope of evasion. The car made no attempt to brake as it passed through the red light and collided with us. All I remembered before a hellacious sound of the crash and losing consciousness was Aaron turning the motorcycle to try and protect me from being directly hit. When I opened my eyes, the brightness of the lights above me were almost blinding. Though I'd never spent very much time in a hospital, I recognized the scent of disinfectant and various other cleaners to be similar to what one smelled in a doctor's office. Where am I? It took me another moment of waiting for my eyes to adjust to the bright lights before I remembered what had happened. My eyes widened in horror at the vividness of the memory. Aaron! I sat up abruptly, feeling a dull ache when I moved. A nurse out in the hallway heard my sudden cry and quickly hurried inside my room. Miss, please lay back down. You weren't seriously injured in the crash, but we would like you to rest before we decide if you're ready to be released. I will be looking after you until that time comes. Your injuries are minimal, only minor bruising, but we can't let you leave just yet. We were in a car accident, right? That's correct, but please lay back down. We're very glad to see you conscious, but rest is imperative. I reluctantly sank back down, but I was completely awake and not letting the woman leave before I heard a proper explanation. Can you tell me what happened? What about the man who was with me? Aaron, is he okay? The nurse's expression seemed to darken slightly when I mentioned him, which made me worry even more. What happened? I have to know. I'm not fully aware of the situation. I need to call Dr. Rayner. He can explain everything to you. I waited impatiently, dissatisfied with the nurse's quick departure. It only took a few moments for a handsome young man in a doctor's uniform to enter the room. This dude reminds me of a friend of mine from high school. Just like the whole vibe, the pissed off expression, the hair. I was surprised to see that he wasn't all that much older than Aaron and I, most likely a fresh graduate out of medical school. Good evening, Amy. I'm very glad to see you're awake. My name's Eddie Rayner, but you can call me Eddie, the man said with a warm smile, revealing perfectly white teeth. Yes, good evening. What time is it? Is it still Saturday? Actually, it's technically Sunday. That's 3 in the morning. I'd be happy to answer your questions, but you should probably get back to bed soon. I'm not doing anything until I find out what happened to Aaron. The young doctor's smile faded, his reaction much like the nurse's. Unable to hold back my growing worry, I found myself starting to yell as tears gathered in my eyes. I have to know what happened to him. Please, is he all right? Eddie stood up and nodded toward the door, motioning for me to follow. I felt my heart sink, then begin to fill with cold dread. He noticed the fear in my expression and gave me a brief explanation. I'd rather show you his current condition, but I assure you, he's fine and his life is in no danger. He has sustained a head injury. He will recover, and it doesn't seem to have done any severe damage, but he has lost some of his memories. We're still trying to reserve the specifics of just what he's forgotten. As the nurse probably told you, your injuries are minimal. Please follow me. I can take you to him, so you can see if he's all right. I hurried, pulling on a pair of slippers that had been left beside my bed, and followed after the young doctor as he led me out of the hospital room and into the hallway, listening attentively to every word he said. From what I can tell, he was trying to protect you during the crash. We're keeping you overnight for observation, but other than some bruises, you're perfectly okay. You don't have any broken bones or severe internal bleeding, thanks to Aaron's efforts. I felt my heart wrench as I followed him through the hallways. I wasn't walking very quickly, apparently conscientious of how tired I felt. Aaron. From what we can tell, Aaron is suffering from amnesia. He still retains long-term memories, but recent ones from the past few years are hazy or non-existent. He's quite a bit confused at the moment, so we want to be sure not to cause him any unnecessary emotional stress. We need him to regain his memory on his own, but it will be in slow steps. I see. This is my studio. I know this is a lot to take in, so please feel free to ask any questions you might have. He still remembers his family, but he doesn't seem to recall anything from recent years. You mean he doesn't remember me? I'm sorry, we asked him about having a girlfriend, but he doesn't seem to remember anyone by the name of Amy. Ah, fuck. I missed that. God damn it. I see. We walked through the doorway into the room with a glass window that let me see into Aaron's room. I'm sorry to ask this of you, but since we don't want to cause any grief or aggravate his condition, I must ask that you do not meet with him yet. He's very confused and needs rest. I understand. I remained there for a long time, watching him and letting tears silently slip down my cheeks as 2 nurses spoke to Aaron, who wore a perplexed expression. How could you forget all about me? Alright, now we can start running around. But we have to go specific places first. I was released from the hospital in the morning and came right home. When I walked inside, I was greeted with a soft meow when my cat, Nina, brushed up against my leg. Hi, Nina. Did you miss me? I smiled and reached down to pet her affectionately, though I couldn't help but remember how Erin would always fuss over her. Nina was a great judge of character, and she adored Erin, even before he started bringing treats for her all the time. Erin always loved cats so much. He loved big cats and little cats like you, but you were always his favorite kitty. Nina cuddled my fingers affectionately when I knelt down to pick her up. But Erin has probably forgotten about you, too. The sadness I had been trying to keep out of the front of my mind returned as I pulled my cat into an embrace and sighed. I had slept very poorly, and the fatigue from the crash hadn't worn off. I lost my parents in a car accident, and now it looks like I'm going to lose the man I love to one as well. I sat in the living room with Nina on my lap. Gwenda came in to comfort me. Oh, Amy, what happened? I briefly tell her about the accident. She was overjoyed to know that I was all right, and that I had hardly been hurt. Oh, thank God you're okay. But why didn't you call me? The doctor said I was all right, and I didn't want you to worry about me. I had been staying with Aunt Gwenda for several years. Since my parents passed away when I was still young, Gwenda had taken care of me ever since. She's a kind woman, and I greatly appreciate how caring she'd always been to me. However, her pension wasn't enough to fully pay for my college tuition, which is why I took the part-time job at the ice cream parlor. Alright, now we can make our first choice. Check on blah, blah, blah. I know how to play the game. Fuck you. Okay. Talk to Gwenda, read an old book, and cook something. Talk to Gwenda. Yes, dear, what's troubling you? Erin doesn't remember me at all, and the doctors say they don't want to give him too much stress since it might make him forget, or make it harder for him to remember what he has forgotten. Honey, I'm sure he'll remember you soon enough. You're the love of his life. The two of you are so close, the cutest little lovebirds in town. It's just these past few years that he's forgotten, though. What if he doesn't recover? Then you'll just make him love you again. Really? You think that would work? I'm so afraid that we might never be together again. We have so many precious memories, and to think that he doesn't remember any of them. I couldn't help but shudder at the thought. You'll be able to do it. In the absolute worst-case scenario, you'll just have to start off from square one again. Even if his mind doesn't recall the memories you two share, his heart will still love you. Not even amnesia can erase that. You're right. Thank you, Auntie. I feel a bit better now. Of course, that's what family is for. Awesome. Yeah, we did it! She looks so pissed off. Okay, what should we do now? Let's watch some TV. Amy, I've prepared your favorite cake. Thanks, Gwenda, but I'd like to stay alone for a while and rest, okay? I didn't sleep very well at the hospital. I had too much on my mind. That's fine. Get some rest. You can eat a piece of cake tomorrow morning before going to work. Good night, Gwenda. I went to my bedroom with Nina in my arms and sat down at the desk. I picked up a notebook and decided to try and get my feelings under control in the most familiar way I knew, writing about them. I picked up a pen and started writing a poem. Your gentle touch, the warmth of your embrace, the passion of your kiss, precious times that felt ever so divine. I thought that they would never leave, but even though I can't reach you anymore, I can't open my eyes to find you there. I'll always have my memories. Though they are not as warm as the hands that always made me feel so safe, I know they will never disappear, as you now have. My beloved, my heart is forever yours, even if you're lost, beyond where my trembling voice can reach you. Even if your memories fade or disappear into the darkness, I'll never forget the precious times when we faced the world together. My beloved, for today, for tomorrow, for the days that may never return, never forget the words we once exchanged. I love you. When I awoke that morning, I knew that I had to go to the ice cream parlor. It was Sunday, and I had a long shift to attend to. I considered calling out, knowing that they would understand if I explained the situation, but decided that it would be my best. but decided that it would be best to go in anyway. Fuck's sake. Otherwise, everyone would start to worry about me. I had no doubt that news of the accident was already traveling quickly. Gossip seemed to get around in town really fast. To the ice cream parlor. I got ready and arrived at the shop 15 minutes before the start of my shift. I hadn't wanted to dwell at home, though as soon as I walked in I knew I was already too early. It was still early morning and there were only a few customers around. I was surprised to catch sight of a familiar face seated at one of the tables, apparently taking a break from work. Hey, Amy, how are you, all right? I couldn't help but notice the genuine worry in his expression when he saw the bruises on my arms and legs. I appreciated the concern. Good morning, Lawrence. I'm doing okay. Are you sure? Those bruises look really painful. Yes, I'm sure. They really aren't as bad as they look. Really, I don't know if I could work with bruises that big. You're a strong woman. Heh, I can hardly feel them. Thanks, though. How did it happen? You aren't in any trouble, are you? Tell him everything. Well, I got in a car accident. What? When was that? How did it happen? I felt a little bad worrying him, but the tenderness in his eyes made me feel slightly better. It was nice to know that there were people who cared. I decided to explain to him what happened, since there was a little secret to it. I was on a motorcycle with Aaron. He protected me when he got into the crash. That's why I'm not very badly hurt. It wasn't his fault. They think the other driver was drunk. It's terrible. How's Aaron? I haven't heard anything about him recently. Actually, Aaron suffered a head injury. He has amnesia now. I'm sorry to hear that. How bad is it? Will he recover? They think he will, luckily. It's too extensive, but... He doesn't remember me anymore. Lawrence's eyes widened slightly when I revealed the cost of Aaron's protection. Amy. It's not so bad, though. Thanks for worrying about me, Lawrence. Yeah, we got a relationship boost. It's really nice to see people who still care. I've got to go start my shift. I'll talk to you more later. See you later. Lawrence is always my favorite, so I think we're going to go for him this time. During the summer, Amy works part-time from morning to noon from Monday to Friday as a waitress in an ice cream parlor owned by an old friend of Gwenda's. She gets paid only with tips, usually around $5 each turn, but being kind to customers will earn you more money. I don't think you're legally allowed to do that, but okay. There are good and bad days when in general working will always lower her energy, but by a good amount of morale by the small amount. This energy can be restored in several ways. Yes, I know how to play the game, blah blah blah. Da-da-da. Must come anytime to perform an action, like talking to Lawrence, who works here full time every day, blah blah blah. Okay. Weeks, we're gonna go home. Nina and I went up to my room and I turned the computer on to check my email, mostly to see if there was any news on Aaron's family or the hospital. I knew it was rather unlikely to have more correspondence from them so soon, but couldn't help but hold on to the hope there would be something new. Why am I yawning so much? Ugh. I sat down at my desk and looked around my inbox, scanning the titles and senders of the new and unread messages. I frowned when I saw there was nothing new from Eddie, or anyone else from the hospital crew. Nothing good. Too bad. I decided to do some research on amnesia. It took a while before I found anything interesting, but after a bit of searching I found the following explanations about the basics of amnesia. Amnesia is a condition in which the memory is disturbed or lost completely. People can forget about things they did, or, well, simply fail to remember things they are currently doing in the near future. I kept reading, but only got confused from the more complicated medical terms. I was distracted from my reading when a small notification box saying I had a new email popped up. SecretAdmirer.net, MyBookReviews.com. Who sets their email from a... Okay. I clicked it a bit absent-mindedly since the address was unknown. Maybe I should open it. It could be a virus of spam. Nina hopped up onto the desk and meowed rather loudly. Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to see what it is, right, Nina? Ugh, goddamn, why do I keep yawning? I hate it. I opened the email, eyeing the unknown address warily. The message was simple and written in plain black text. Hey there, Amy. I hear you're quite the poet. I'd love to read more of your work, but you don't really share it with anyone, do you? I'm a big fan and your secret admirer, as the saying goes. Keep writing, girl. Let's ignore. I shook my head slightly and clicked back to the inbox, deciding to ignore the unusual message. I was about to check my book review blog when the computer shut down. I tried to restart it several times, but nothing happened. My computer just had to break at a time like this. For a moment, I thought it might have been a virus from the mysterious email, but then I realized that was silly. The computer wouldn't even turn on, so the failure was clearly in the hardware. Nina, still sitting on my desk, gave me a puzzled look. Great. Now I won't be able to check my emails or blog from home anymore. Haha. I must go to sleep now. Tomorrow I have work. How did we get emotion boosts with them? We didn't even do anything.
Bring it on.
Or is it counting the extra from the thing? Okay. Save here, just in case. Oh, I had an old save. What the fuck? Oh, that's why. Okay. I thought this was like the date. No, okay, it's the date in game. Okay. I need to hurry. My morning shift at the ice cream shop starts soon. Yeah, we did it! Oh, we fucked up. We gave everyone diabetes. I want to go to the hospital today. I want to see Aaron. I miss him. Even though they explicitly told you not to. I went to the hospital to go visit Aaron, but as soon as I entered the room, I had a feeling the visit wasn't going to give you no... Yeah, fuck. Why can't I talk today? Good morning, Aaron. Hi. How are you feeling today? Little better, thanks. He smiled at me politely, but without any of the tenderness I was used to seeing. An awkward silence settled in as I sat down at the chair beside his bed. Lacking any other ideas to really get the conversation going, I decided to start with something simple. I didn't want to pressure him with anything that the medics wouldn't approve of me discussing with him. How's the hospital food around here? Is it okay? It's pretty good. Definitely better than I can cook. I'm glad you like it, but I'm sure you're not that bad of a cook. You've never had my cooking, then? I went to say that I had, quickly restrained. He wasn't a very good cook, but it made it more fun when he came to the ice cream parlor or when I cooked for him. By the way, I was wondering... Yes? Who are you? The question was so simple, so polite, so impersonal, but it still broke my heart. Tell him you're a friend. His words hurt, and I was certain my eyes betrayed a degree of sadness. I covered it up with a smile, hoping he didn't notice the momentary change. Oh, I'm a friend of yours. My name is Amy. Ah, okay, I'm sorry, it's just my memory is really hazy. It's okay, I understand. Don't strain yourself. He returned my smile with a nod. You're a very nice girl, Amy. Oh, I thought this went away on its own. Thank you. Now, if you excuse me, I'm getting tired. I'd better get some sleep. Sure, I'll come visit you again soon. You're on your own now. Okay, now we can finally do what we want. Now I can use the Lawrence guide. You have to focus on building up our culture. It's one of the annoying things about this game. I love visual novels, but I prefer the ones where it's just entirely choice-based rather than stat-based. Like, I understand what the appeal of it, it makes it feel a bit like an RPG, but I much prefer just being able to run through each story and not having to do the extra work. Not having such a high increased chance of failure. A home. Go in a room. Write a poem. I can't write a poem yet? God damn it. Can't go to the mall. Pay for the gym. Go to the library. Ah, the library is my favorite place to be. Here I can borrow new books to read at home, practice my writing skills, and during the weekends I can attend creative writing courses in the evening. I can also use the library's computers to access the internet and update my personal blog where I review books and check my email. New books arrive every Monday and Friday, but I must make sure to come here on those days if I want to have the chance to get new books. Practice writing to get our culture up. Yeah, we did it! 2 culture points! It's late, I need to get back home now. I must go to sleep, tomorrow I have work. You dreamed in a world made of ice cream. That sounds sticky.